Friday, June 24th, 2022. Today is the day, folks. Roe versus Wade has officially been overturned. Today is an incredibly exciting day for America, for the global pro-life movement. Roe versus Wade, the ruling from 1973, which has led to the death of over 50 million preborn children, has officially been overturned earlier this morning. The Supreme Court of the United States of America officially releasing their ruling on the Dobbs versus Jackson Whole Health ruling from Mississippi, and the legislation challenging restricting abortion to 15 weeks. This has set off a ton of trigger laws and other pro-life legislation across America. Today is a day to celebrate. And I thought it was important to release a video today. We're going to have tons of content coming out over the next couple of weeks here, talking about everything that has contributed towards this ruling, where we go from here, all that kind of stuff. But today is a day that I wanted to just release a quick couple-minute video here with 3 points for the Canadian pro-life movement and the global pro-life movement, because things are going to change. Things are obviously changing in America. Things are changing worldwide. What do we need to know in Canada? What do you need to know if you live outside of Canada and outside of America? What do you need to know from this? First point I want to bring up is that there is hope. Hope for the pro-life movement. I want to reflect on a very famous quote from Sir Winston Churchill that he issued at an all-boys school that he spoke at in the fall of 1941. In the dark days of the Second World War, the memorable quote of never, ever, 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 ever give up. I'm sure there has been incredibly dark moments for the leaders of America's pro-life movement. You think of people like Joe Scheidler, who dedicated his life, his blood, sweat, and tears in the service of preborn children and their families. You think about people currently leading America's pro-life movement, the Mark Crutchers, the Father Frank Pavones, the Mark Harringtons, Greg Cunningham, Scott Klusendorfs, Lila Roses, so many people. I could go on and on and on. Apologies for anyone and everyone that I missed. So many leaders who I'm sure have had many dark days where they have at times wondered, are they actually going to achieve societal change? And today is a day that they can celebrate, and that we can celebrate with them an incredible day of change in America. And so when we look at the situation here in Canada, we have a hostile government federally. Many provinces have either hostile or cowardly governments. Provincially, locally is an absolute nightmare for many cities and municipalities and whatnot. There are some dark days in Canada. And for many people that I have worked with, it has been so dark that they have given up on the pro-life movement, or maybe they've given up on societal success. They've acknowledged that as the boy walking along the beach trying to collect sea stars that need to get thrown back into the ocean, you know what? We can be faithful, but we're never actually going to see significant cultural change. I think America has proven that to us, that through millions of hours of dedicated outreach, political engagement, prayers, and pastoral support, by God's grace, they have seen this incredible day of overruling an incredibly evil ruling from almost 50 years ago. They've seen the fruits of their labor. And so there's no guarantee that we're going to see it unfold exactly the same way in Canada. And yet we must take hope in the fact that we are not beating our heads against a brick wall. It might feel like that sometimes, and at times it might be that. And yet we know that by God's grace and through continued application of effective strategies for engaging our culture, through showing the reality of what abortion does to preborn children and engaging people in compassionate and compelling conversations about abortion, we too can see that change that we have now seen south of the border. And so point one, there is hope for the pro-life movement. Even in the darkest days, we need to cling to the fact that there is hope. There is hope for the individuals, those starfish that we are tossing back into the sea, for those individual moms and dads that we are speaking with on street corners and on doorsteps who are changing their minds on abortion and coming to reject abortion, whether they're currently pregnant or maybe they become pregnant sometime later on. There is hope for the pro-life movement, and there is cultural hope for the pro-life movement, not just a small scale victories that absolutely we need to celebrate, we have hope that we can see cultural transformation. We can not only change minds and save lives, but we can transform our culture. And so please take that to heart. Today is a day for celebrating, rejoicing, and basking in the fact that God is good and he has blessed the efforts of the American and global pro-life movement to the success of overturning Roe versus Wade through this incredible ruling coming down from the Supreme Court of the United States of America. Point two. Point two is something we can focus on tomorrow, because obviously we have to remember that the fight is not over, that abortions do not stop with the overturning of Roe versus Wade in America, let alone in the rest of the world. And so starting tomorrow, take today off, go for lunch, go and have a drink of something nice, whether it's iced tea or something stiffer, whatever you're into. Today is a day for safe and responsible celebration in an appropriate way, because obviously this day is going to be met with a lot of opposition from abortion advocates. And so let's not put ourselves into stupid positions by making stupid decisions. Let's celebrate today. But point two, I'm going to go back to Sir Winston Churchill in the theme that in 1942, when there was a massive victory from the Russians, stopping the Nazi progression in Stalingrad, when there was a big success in Egypt by British and Allied forces, there were calls in Britain for Winston Churchill to set out the bells of victory, to which he responded, "Today is not the end. No, it is not even the beginning of the end, but perhaps it is the end of the beginning." We have a tremendous amount of work to do in America and around the world. In America, like I mentioned, there are going to be a ton of trigger laws that come into effect where we see states that immediately have more advanced pro-life legislation. We're going to see a ton of states that ban abortion outright, whether it's now or whether it's in the coming months. There are going to be babies saved worth celebrating. But there are going to be other states that are becoming abortion sanctuaries. Canada is going to be an abortion sanctuary. If you don't think that Justin Trudeau is going to take the news of today and be like, I'm not worried about that here, you are mistaken. Justin Trudeau and countless others in Canada are shaking in their shoes right now. And pro-life ministry is going to become even more important in Canada, in America, and around the world. And that happens in three different capacities. We talk about the three arms of the pro-life movement day after day after day. We need to continue to bolster the pastoral support that's available to moms and dads, making abortion unnecessary so that no mother ever feels as though abortion is their only option. We need to make parenting more manageable. We need to make adoption more accessible, and we need to make life more doable. For moms and dads, we need to help those who are in crisis situations. Not only that, though, that we need to go even deeper. We need to go into our educational roots that build a pro-life sentiment within people before they even find themselves pregnant, before they're even faced with those hard situations. So they've already made up their mind that abortion is not an appropriate solution to whatever it is that they're going through. We need more people on street corners and on doorsteps. We need more people effectively engaging our culture and people within your spheres of influence. We need to be ready for this fight, because trust me when I say the pro-abortion movement and abortion advocates are not going to go quietly. Be safe. Be smart. Review the episode that I recorded recently with Mark Harrington of Created Equal and how to be safe, how to be responsible and smart and prudent in your pro-life outreach. But now is the time not to put down our weapons for forever. Put them down for a day. Celebrate for a day. Obviously, I mean metaphorical weapons. We condemn all forms of abortion-related violence, as should every reasonable pro-lifer, reasonable or not. But today is not the day to pack up and go home. Today is not absolute victory. Today is the end of the beginning. Tomorrow, we need to go back out into our culture, into a culture that is going to be further galvanized and further aware of the pro-abortion perspective and the fear-mongering and the hysteria that comes with that. There is a tremendous amount of work to do. And so while point one is celebrate today and recognize hope for the pro-life movement, Number two is that we need to prepare ourselves for cultural engagement. We need to put on the armor of the Lord. We need to go out into society. We need to engage those around us. And that brings me to the third point. And that is a special message for you, my friend, that you need to take a look in the mirror. Starting tomorrow. Today is a day for rejoicing. Tomorrow is a day for gut checking. How do we further optimize our engagement? Maybe you've been involved in the pro-life movement for a long time, and this is an opportunity to collaborate with other pro-life organizations. Maybe this is a time to really evaluate the projects that you are investing your time and energy into engaging. Is this the most effective way that I can approach and engage and convert our culture? We are so excited to be able to partner with folks because we are, by God's grace, blessed to witness so many people changing their minds on abortion. We see statistically that over 1 in 4 people that we speak with have a conversation about abortion with becomes fully pro-life by the end of that conversation. And those conversations are lasting 5 or 10 minutes. We cover a lot of those apologetics in the podcast. And so if you're new to the show, check out the old programs to see how you can improve the conversations. We incorporate abortion victim photography into our encounters, showing the evidence that abortion directly and intentionally kills an innocent human being. Stats, again, show that over 2/3 of people who look at an image of an aborted child are willing to admit they feel more negatively about abortion after seeing the image than they had before. We are pursuing the most effective means possible to change minds and save lives, and we want you to be a part of it. And so I want to encourage you, check out the Pro-Life Guys, prolifeguys.com, our website. Go to our parent organization, endthekilling.ca. Check out the Get Active tab. Maybe sign up for the Toronto Crash Course coming up in a couple weeks here. Maybe sign up for our internship next year. Maybe sign up to be a volunteer. Maybe sign up to be a financial partner. Maybe you don't have the time or ability to be part of our volunteer teams across the country, but you can help get boots on the ground through your financial partnership. And so, Level 1, celebrate today and remember that there is hope for the pro-life movement. Number 2, remember, starting tomorrow, that after the rejoicing of today is done, that we have a long and arduous road ahead of us. Number 3, that is a personal call to action. How do you personally optimize your engagement in the pro-life movement? That we are here to equip you with the tools that you need. We're here to offer mentorship and support. If you want me or one of the other speakers from CCBR to come and speak in your community and offer some mentorship and lead you through some effective pro-life outreach, I would love to do that. Hit us up, endthekilling.ca, prolifeguys.com, whatever it may be. Reach out to us help you, so that together we can change minds, save lives, and transform culture. Praise be to God who has enabled this incredible landmark ruling to happen. Huge thank you and shout out to all those who have been leaders and foot soldiers and prayer warriors and all those who have been involved in America's pro-life movement and the pro-life movement around the world. And let's keep pushing forward. Today is the day to celebrate. Tomorrow is a day to put our hands back to the plow and to maintain and grow this momentum for the protection of preborn children, for the support of their mothers and fathers, and for the betterment of our society. Thanks a ton. Check out our other programs, and may God bless you abundantly.